Non mais Lucas, comment il est arrivé? Lucas, il est arrivé. Oh, Choumani. Wesh, Choumani. Tu vois, il y avait un but de bébé à la Côte d'Ivoire. Après, un but de Giroud. Après, un but de dernière minute, Choumani, il a marqué de la tête. Oh putain, ça nous a sauvés.
My squad, I'm rolling good. When I spot it, it looked like food.
Allô?
Oh le voilà. Vraiment dégage ta mère, c'est pas possible.
Mais tu arrêtes.
was at the Winter Major.
Oh yeah,
Fall
we're
Major.
counting the
Yes.
Pride rookie.
Yeah. So man, crazy, insane events here. We have our 8 teams moving forward to play in front of the crowd, who have been as big a part of the RLCS as anything else.
The thing about crowds is that Rocket League is the same esport without them.
When you see the crowd, you realize everyone wants you to succeed and everyone wants cheering for you. I could have made it, in a sense, at that point.
You know, you're in this crazy, intense environment when you're doing well, and then the game's over, the ball drops, and you step outside your computer and you're just in your room. And when you're at a LAN, it's completely different.
You really like feel the arena shaking and like the vibrations of everybody yelling.
You're used to in the game hearing the crowd, but then it's like a real crowd. The sound of the alpha boost is incredible.
It takes you to a whole nother place. It's an entirely different way to view Rocket League.
Carried it over. They could put it in. So many questions left. You know, when a shot like that off the backboard.
But then there's still like a respect, right? We are all under the umbrella of Rocket League. So we are all a family, but brothers butt heads. You got to. Like, that's what makes it exciting.
It is so difficult to watch the person that you love compete because there's nothing that you can do to change the outcome of what they're playing.
I used to work in the furniture industry. Then this game comes out, Rocket League, car soccer. And before you know it, we're having this, what was to me a massive LAN. Now looking back on it, it was a small nightclub.
You know, everyone there was super excited to be there.
Yeah, I remember Cloudfield having to break down like 12 PCs and chairs and tables and move them out of the way. And then in the morning, everything would have to get set up again.
People were still cheering at season 1. A couple of people would jump out of the seats, but it was definitely isolated and people felt reserved. They're like, can I be doing this?
They had screens set up on the side of the wall, and like every time there was a goal, there would be goal on the side of the screens, and you'd have the pictures of all the players. And I was thinking, we made it. This is tier 1 esports.
I think that most of the crowd and most of the audience were behind Kronovi and behind IBP Cosmic.
Even if you were a North American fan at the time, you knew who Flipside was, and they were the big bad team walking into that tournament.
Able to drop it back into the box. Mike's up for this one to try and drop it in front, and there's 4-0.
I was getting teary-eyed about Crow actually winning this because they weren't supposed to do anything at that level.
Power, not things you usually talk about at the same time. He's carrying it. Kronovi, they can put it in!
So him to come out and put on that performance, it was just magic.
It truly was a special event. Still, to me, the most special Rocket League event that I've ever been to, just because it was the first one and how many people were a part of it.
Season 2 was a great setup, unless you were sitting in the very front seats. That was, your neck was definitely doing one of these the whole time.
We had a stage at the bottom, and then it's just a ramp up of crowd. So it was like a wall of a crowd. So I think that was pretty hard for a lot of the NA teams.
There was an interview that I did that I wasn't quite ready for, and it was kind of.
Allô, Zafrouille?
Allô?
Oh, Zafrouille?
Ouais. Est-ce que tu te rappelles de ces musiques quand tu me fais Pirates Caribéennes?
Les pirates des Caraïbes. Des Caraïbes. Attends, avant, je vais t'expliquer un truc.
Non, c'est pas un ça. Après, la note, après, c'est ça, mais c'est tout. Après, ça fait. Ça recommence.
Ouais. Les Afriques, tu veux que je te dise un truc?
Attends, je baisse un petit peu parce que c'est... Attends. On fait un duo? Attends.
Mais regarde, il y a un truc Rocket League.
Ouais, j'ai vu. J'ai regardé le live et c'était bien.
Oh, d'après, tu veux que je te dise un truc?
Non.
Oh, la France, Côte d'Ivoire, la France, elle a gagné 2-1. Et en fait, il faut se qualifier pour la Coupe du Monde.
Et regarde, aide humanitaire en Ukraine.
Ouais.
Ils ont 70 millions USD.
Ouais, apparemment, ce que j'ai vu.
C'est bien.
Ouais, c'est beaucoup même.
Ah, pourquoi on regarde Attends, je réessaye. J'ai essayé. J'essaie de faire Attends.
Ouais. Yeah.
Est-ce que tu connais cette musique? Quand on a appris à l'école en anglais, c'est cette musique-là. C'est Unstoppable, j'aime bien sa musique.
C'est quoi?
Mais quand on a appris à l'école en anglais, Unstoppable.
Vas-y, chante-la.
Oui.
Unstoppable. Ah, ok.
Vous savez, la autre musique, c'est Sia, elle a fait c'est la musique en anglais. Est-ce que tu connais cette musique? Ça commence par 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Ça commence par ça.
Non, je connais
pas.
Non, je connais pas.
Papa
into their own side, especially because Europe had won the last two.
That was the land where Squishy hit his ceiling shot.
Oh yes, Squishy's goal was insane. Wow.
Ça c'est moi. Ça c'est moi.
Felt
Ça
like
c'est moi
we
le rouge.
had
C'est moi
gone
le
up a
rouge.
level
C'est Squishy,
in gameplay.
c'est toi
I think that was a
Squishy.
huge moment for
Ouais,
a
c'est
lot
moi.
of those
C'est toi
fans
lui,
because
c'est
it
toi
was an
lui,
opportunity
c'est
to
toi
be
lui.
like,
Ouais,
yo,
c'est moi.
we're awesome.
Et
You know what I mean?
People still
T'es petit, tu
come
peux
to
pas être,
Twitch
t'es pas
every
comme ça,
day
toi.
and tell me like, how did you feel when Squishy scored that amazing
Viens,
ceiling
viens,
shot
on va
against
dans le
Season
cinéma.
4? I'm like, yeah, we said it was a nice shot. We felt the crowd, everyone went crazy, and then we won the game, and then we won series. So it didn't really affect us anymore at that point.
I remember watching that final and being like, wow, at the time, players are really getting good at playing Rocket League.
This is the season I actually heard one of the staff members audibly cheer. As I'm walking past, I hear the crowd go, "Hey!" And then I hear the guy behind me, I'm walking past, just go, "Yes!" And I look around, he just goes, like, mate, I heard you.
Yeah,
You're allowed to do that. there was a moment in the green room I turned and just went, guys, you're not ready. You don't understand what a London crowd is going to be like.
The crowd, more than any other land at that point, became a living organism.
I don't think there's been anything more exciting in my life than hearing a chant ripple around a crowd and then going back and watching it in chat. Their reaction to the chants.
You'd get up with everyone, you'd chant it for 30 seconds, you'd sit back down, wait 2 or 3 seconds, and then you'd have the most intense splitting headache of your life, and then suddenly Devo would score a worldie.
Nobody from NRG was taking the bait. Devo up high. That is going to drop down 5 minutes.
And you're like, right, fine. Back to it then.
I would say season 5 was, for me, the first time OC had a home crowd.
He's got one last thing to say to his crowd. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy! Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy!
Everybody could hear a clap, an Icelandic clap, and everybody did.
I don't know, I just love the British humor. So my favorite chant was the Squishy Muffins one, where it was, we sell you at Greg's, we sell you at Greg's. Squishy Muffins, we sell you at Greg's.
I'm assuming it's some kind of grocery store. I can put 2 and 2 together.
It like overwhelms you too much.
I was about to interview, but it got so loud that I legitimately started to not be able to hear myself. And I'm like, well, at this point, I don't have control of the show. The audience has control.
It's such a good memory to think about afterhand, but in the moment it felt like so overwhelming, a little bit surreal.
The Pirates theme, Crooked G was amazing.
You can see Twitch chat from the live feed just going, what is that? What is that? It's Pirates of the Caribbean! It's Captain Jack!
You're almost working together to make this atmosphere, to bring the gameplay to the highest level possible. And sometimes that's humor. Devo, into the corner.
You can hear the crowd. Big fans of this announcer in the game.
Something about 0 seconds in Rocket League is really special. When you go to the lands, everyone does that. No.
It just makes it 10 times more exciting. And then when something really hype happens,
and you knew what was coming. Everybody did, and the fact that it was on 0 seconds and all the other factors going in, it just made it insanely special.
I remember looking on Twitter and being like, what's this? This is Rocket League, because in the stands, there was no fearing anything. Like, it was just pandemonium.
We were all excited, but then after they got scored on, I jumped out my chair, slapped my chair. I was mad. I've watched a lot of esports at home, but nothing's ever gotten that much of an emotional reaction out of me. And it's just like that type of energy from the crowd brings in any viewer, whether you're watching at home or you're there.
Once the grand finals was done, Showman pulled me to the side. I think we managed to find the one quiet spot, entire venue. It was like underneath some stairs. Pulled me into a hug and just started speaking. At that time, I was like, yes, this is like actually as cool as I ever wanted my life to be.
No. If you were in the right spot, you could totally see the vibe change.
Non, j'ai pris cet engagement pour moi.
First of all, you're in NA, and second of all, you're in Vegas, and people are like, oh yeah, you want to see energy, and like they just go off.
A lot of people give flack to the American crowds, but once you have somebody out front leading the chants, they're just as good, if not better, than a lot of the EU crowds as well.
There were storylines when it came to the actual teams that started to change.
When Cloud9 started to get all the momentum, then people were like, yeah, they're going for this spot. Even they had like a rough beginning.
Looking for the clear at this point. It's suffocated. I finish it. Gimmick. The rare miss on the wall, and We Dem Girls takes the victory.
So when C9 started to make that run through the world, I feel like it was kicked off by an NA bias, for sure.
I think it was a buildup of all like those emotions and all that angst. I don't even know if angst is the word, but it just exploded.
North Americans were very, very eager for a win, and Cloud9 was a very easy team to get behind if you're a North American fan. Even if you hadn't liked Cloud9 before that point, you could see their run and be like, oh my gosh, this is it. They're my team now.
But when it got to the grand final, that just didn't seem real because the way that they were beating Dingus, it's something that we'd never seen before.
I was kind of just watching it. I was like, yeah, sure, you styled on people in the semifinal round, but like, Dignitas is just gonna crush you because you're not gonna have that space. And... Wrong.
All they knew was saying Cloud9. They were saying Cloud9 where people outside the stadium could hear them. I'll say that much.
No, please.
I was super excited that we were going to a hockey arena because I have always most closely associated Rocket League with hockey.
Like, I personally love hockey, and I feel like it was a hockey atmosphere there.
Fans are so fun because it's like when you meet fans are biased, right? Fans have favorite players, and so it's fun to hear them be like, "Oh man, I really hate G2. I can't stand them." As an NRG fan, they disgust me. That kind of stuff cracks me up.
There were more kids at NA, which brought its own level of excitement because they're going to be a little less restrained.
I think it was a lot of fun for me personally, seeing the family atmosphere as well as that crowd just going crazy. Like, you know, we see players going out there like, I want to be Squishy or whatever, and like tons of meet and greets. And I think that's what was really special about that one.
I really do think that these LANs, you know, letting parents bring their kids, a lot of times they like watching Rocket League just as much as the kid does.
You know, they did the wave for like 20 minutes. You know, you don't just get, you know, fans to do that.
Oh, I remember the wave. That should have been a record. That should have been an official record.
I mean, I've been to a lot of sporting events that it was nothing like that. This was a crazy fan event, let alone an esport event.
If anyone's crazy and willing to dedicate enough time for something as asinine as the longest Mexican wave, it's going to be Rocket League, people.
And then we get that grand final. And it's G2, the North American fan favorite, going up against Vitality, the EU powerhouse.
People did see us win, but they did see us as the underdogs as well going into that because Vitality just
I'm not okay. My heart's going crazy. I want him to do in a manic state.
The underdog story of like, oh my god, they might actually do it or something was just huge for people to be able to root for.
And it wasn't up until the point where I believe Scrub scored a game to tie it up.
Do you remember the 0-second goal that Vitality got versus G2?
No, I tried to, you know, X that all out of my memory.
And I think that's hard for a team in NA when you have an NA crowd behind you to feel that crowd energy just deflate because you have to try and not deflate as well.
If that was me, I'd be crying. I'd be on the floor.
La musique qui fait mon pote.